WWE has recently gone on a damage control tour, really trying to mitigate any of the criticism that fans are coming out with against the company, trying to label us as the, quote, vocal minority. Now, from a strategic standpoint, I understand that. From a business perspective, I understand that. You're trying to really mitigate and curate the reality of the situation to the rest of the viewing audience. And also, are we really the vocal minority? If we're the vocal minority, how did we get major changes? What am I talking about? Well, WrestleMania 40, the main event. We're the same vocal minority that made our voices heard online. And yes, it did translate into in-person as well, which helped. How did we get R-Truth re-signed? Same kind of way. How did the women's evolution begin? Same way. So now again, I don't think that every single complaint, even if it has some sustained momentum, should be adhered to by WWE. They should not bend the knee to everything, and nor do they. They need to be very selective about when and how they respond to fans and give us, quote, what we want, because they probably look at us as spoiled children who, if we complain and cry and scream loud enough, they'll give us what we want. And today's culture, I think, is drawn to negativity. Sometimes I'm guilty of it as well. We seem to have more courage than ever because we have a screen to protect us. Many of us try to, not myself, but many people online hide behind anonymity to voice their opinion. But it's not the minority when you have fans who decided not to go to WrestleMania in a significant number compared to last year. So ticket sales were down for WrestleMania. SmackDown ratings heading into WrestleMania were at an all-time low when they should be at an all-time high that time of year. So how do you explain those two? And again, I'm not talking about WWE's success with media rights, with ESPN, with Netflix, with all of their sponsorships that they get. We know that, with their 4-minute ad blocks every 10 minutes. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just fans versus TKO. And with TKO right now, they are trying to make it look like people like myself. And if you're listening to this, maybe you're also in the same camp of a content creator, or you just like to talk about the product online for good or for bad. They're trying to pretend that anytime there are complaints, even organized complaints or hashtags, that we're just a minority. I would love to know what metrics they're using to determine this. How have they decided that we are the minority? Where? In what numbers are you looking at? I'm venturing to guess it's no numbers at all. It's what they want the public, the general viewing public, to believe. Again, I'm not faulting them for trying to do this. On that side of the business side, I get it. They're trying to basically curate their public image, make it look like they don't have organized complaints against the fact that they had a horrible WrestleMania build, that half of WrestleMania night one, namely, was a disaster. They're trying to make it appealing to those that aren't in the company, that aren't fans, and go, no, all's well. Don't worry about these people over here. They just like to bitch and complain. They're spoiled children. It's not true. Now, I don't think all the fans should get what they want. I'm not siding on that extreme of things. But the company's clearly trying to quiet us, or at least devalue our opinions. I think devaluing our opinions is really where they're at, trying to minimize our voices. But I would encourage everybody right now, this is a sign to not back down. What this is really kind of a mimic of, and a mirror of political strategy, where you have one side trying to discourage and devalue the other side's voter base, making them think, don't even bother voting in this election. It's going to be a landslide. You're wasting your vote. Just stay home. Kind of the same psychology being used here. By trying to minimize the voices of the wrestling community, I mean, not only are you trying to make it so that people who may be on the fence about the product or are generally positive don't get quote unquote poisoned by our view and think that they're the minority. But on the other side of things, they're trying to discourage people who are complaining to make it look like they're in a room by themselves. They're in an echo chamber. So you don't want to, maybe you're not going to complain next time because you don't want to be the minority. You want to be with the rest of the pack. Well, I don't know how to say this really diplomatically, so I'm just going to say it. Fuck that, TKO. Fuck that strategy. It's not going to work. We are going to continue more than ever to voice our opinion about the product. And I'm not saying just we should only talk about when things are bad. We shouldn't. I know we're drawn to that in today's age, in today's culture, which is it's a topic in and of itself. But I think we should voice it no matter what. WWE feels that they are above this kind of criticism. Any other publicly traded company or private company should at least outwardly welcome criticism. Even if they don't like it. We're all human. We don't like it. It's not fun getting criticism. But at least you should pretend that you want it and that you welcome it to improve your product or service. And WWE feels that if you don't like the product, you should just shut up and just watch it and, whatever, enjoy it. Here's the thing. We love professional wrestling. We do. And no matter what others may say, if you have somebody in your life that says, well, if you hate it so much, why watch? Again, that logic, you might as well apply it to every other form of entertainment, sports, anything, TV show, movie. There's never going to be anything you love fully. And a lot of times, even if we like 90% of it, we'll only complain about the 10%. That's unfortunately the culture in 2026. I think it's partly human nature, partly the cultural rot that we're all in right now. But it is what it is. I'm a realist. This is going to continue. So don't be discouraged by WWE and their executives or their former wrestlers or current wrestlers like Jacob Fatu, who say basically shut up and enjoy the product. Fuck you. I'm spending my time, my hard-earned money to watch a product and invest my time and money into it. I should absolutely get a voice in the product here. And in my opinion, should be voiced, can be voiced. You have the right to voice that opinion. You have, if you're in the United States, the constitutional right to criticize anything you want. And I'm not saying that you should threaten, break the law, go to events and be vulgar around families and kids. No, that's not what I'm advocating for. But I am advocating for people to exercise their right. This is not a political speech, but I can only speak for at least what the United States Constitution supports, and it's certainly free speech. Big one. Number one. One of the only ones that many people around the world know. Love it or hate it. And that includes especially talking about and criticizing things people don't like. Too fucking bad. Especially when you have time and money invested, you should criticize. So the hell with Jacob Fatu in his opinion, the hell with JBL in his opinion. He often says that. Triple H has said it at times as well. Fuck you guys. We love the product. We love what professional wrestling can be. But if you think that saying that we're the minority is going to discourage us to continue to criticize when warranted, you are having the opposite effect on most. So congratulations on that. Your psychological warfare cannot be useful here. So I'll leave it there. I wanted to talk about that or rant about it a little bit. And if you want more like this, follow me on X at the wrestling_audio. Search the WWE podcast. That's also a way to find me. You can find us also on Patreon at patreon.com/WWE podcast, or the long form audio. You can find us on Apple or on Spotify at the WWE podcast, of course. So let me know what you guys think. I will be back in a day or so with the mailbag and more videos, of course, as needed. So thank you, everybody. We will be talking soon.